Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started today. Good morning, everybody. My name is Josh Hunsaker, the Customer Solutions Trainer here at BidSync and at Periscope, and I'll be taking you through today's webinar. We're going to be going through the new BuySpeed support portal. For those of you that may not be aware, at the end of this month, we're rolling out a new support portal for you that's going to hopefully improve your customer experience when interacting with our support team. Now, with that in mind, the current bits system will be going away, so you'll want to make sure that you have any open or current tickets that you have in bits transferred over to the new system before the end of the month. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to create those tickets and how to navigate through the system. It's very simple. Today's not going to be a very long webinar, maybe about half an hour or so, and we'll definitely leave some time for questions so we can get any questions answered toward the end of the webinar. If you do have questions throughout the webinar or at the end, you'll want to make sure you post those in the questions section. Throughout the webinar, all attendees will be in listen-only mode, so you'll be muted, which means you can't audibly ask the questions. You'll need to type them in, and we'll address those as they come in toward the end of the webinar today. In our list of topics that we're going to be covering today, there's several things that you'll want to be aware of with this new system. The first thing that we're going to take a look at is just some general navigation of the tool. So where everything is located, how you can access your profile and the My Activities. The My Activities is actually probably going to be one of your top pieces that you'll access. My Activities is actually where all of your tickets will be saved, or where you'll hold those tickets in the system. So when you create a ticket or your organization creates a ticket, those will be listed under My Activities. So we'll take a look at that. And then we'll also take a look at actually creating tickets in the system. Now, along the lines of creating tickets, not everybody has the ability to create tickets. So just like you have set up right now, if you have the ability to create tickets now, you'll have the ability to create tickets in this new system. But if you can't currently create tickets, if you usually have to go through your help desk to create a ticket with the support team, then you'll still have to do that in the new system. The difference is, even if you don't have the ability to create tickets, you'll still be able to see those tickets in the system. So just keep that in mind, so that even though you can't create it, you can still view some of those. So it's a little bit different than the current bits system. Now we'll talk a little bit about viewing your tickets, which again goes back to the My Activities. We'll also take a look at how to view your organization tickets and how you can subscribe to those so you can receive notifications anytime a ticket gets created. And then, of course, actually filling out the form to create those tickets and managing those. We're also going to talk about how you can still contact support. We're also still going to talk about how you can contact support through the same phone number and email address that you're using currently. That'll still go to the same team, and we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll also take a look at the new tool, which is the knowledge base, which will be new to all of you. The knowledge base is going to be a collection of documents that will constantly be growing. As we start out at the beginning of next month with this new portal, it may not have articles on everything just yet, but it's a system that's going to constantly be growing as we add more and more articles to this and update those articles to make sure that they have the most current information. So we'll talk a little bit about how that knowledge base works and how you can search through the articles and access those either for yourself or other users in your organization. Now, again, one of the questions we've gotten on some of the past webinars is if we're going to provide the slides to the webinar. We won't be providing these slides to the webinar, but we will be posting a recording of this webinar on the support portal. So as you get logged in, we'll just have that posted right on the support portal, hopefully later today, so that if you need to, or if somebody from your organization needs to, they can just jump right in and watch this recording to be able to get all the information that they need out of it. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump over to the actual site now. So change gears a little bit. This is what you'll be seeing once you get logged into your account. So when you first come to the site, it'll look similar to this, but you'll need to log into the account, similar as how you would with Bits. Should be the same username for most of you. But once you get logged in, you'll be able to access the information in here. Now, just to kind of give you a little bit of an overview of this page, up at the top you're going to have an option for submitting a request and accessing your profile information right here. As you scroll down a little bit, this is the search area where you'll be able to search for different articles and guides and walkthroughs throughout the system. As we move down a little bit further, in this section right here, where you have the contact us and submit a request. You can contact us via phone right there, and we'll talk about that in just a second. You can also submit a request here as well, and you can browse through the articles that we have right here or view any recent articles down below, and we'll talk more about those in a little bit. Starting back up at the top, we're going to go to your profile first, which is right here where your name will appear. I'm logged in as training user, but the rest of you should see your name listed right there. So as you open up this drop-down menu, you'll be able to click on My Profile, and this would show you your profile information. So your name right there, when you started, when you first logged in, how long you've been a member. Below there, you'll be able to see any tickets that you've created or anything like that. This user you can see is brand new, so there's not a lot of information there. When you click edit your profile, there's not a lot that you can really edit. It's pretty simple. If you need information changed, like your name or your email address, let us know and we can change it for you, so don't worry about doing that. The other item that I want to show you up here is My Activities. So we just looked at My Profile. If you look at My Activities, this is where you're going to go to see any of your tickets and tickets from your organization. So there's a couple of pieces right here that we can show you really quick. First off, up here at the top, you'll have two tabs. There's Requests and Following. Now, when I say following, there's a lot of things that you can follow in the system. You can follow a specific article, or you can follow a specific organization's tickets, or your organization's tickets, I should say, and you can follow specific people. In this case, we're going to just be following some of the organization tickets and articles, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Under the Request tab, this is where you'll be able to see any of the tickets that you have created. So you'll be able to see tickets that you've created right here. In this case, you can see I haven't created any, but as you create more and more, this list will start to grow, and you'll be able to search through those tickets and even filter by status of open, awaiting your reply, and solved. You also have the ability to see requests that you are CC'd on, as well as organization requests. So the organization request, this one is probably the more important piece for most of you, the ability to see other tickets that have been created for your organization. In this case, you can see that there's 2 tickets that have been created for my team or my organization. I can search through those tickets once I start to get a pretty long list, and I can choose to follow those tickets right here. It says unfollow now, but for most of you, when you first get to this page, it'll just say follow like this. And you can click on that little follow button, and that gives you a little message up here, so you will now receive you'll be notified of any new requests that come in. So anytime somebody else in your organization creates a request, or somebody else from your help desk creates a request, you would be notified about that request, and you could then come in and click on the request to take a look at it. Now, I want to point out on these requests right here, we're taking a look at a request or a ticket that was created by somebody else. This one was just a sample one, so there's not a ton of information, but we'll be able to see the title, we can see who created it and when, and we'll be able to see the description of the ticket right here. You'll also be able to see some of the basics over here on the right. You can see who it's assigned to within the support team, who created the ticket, when they created, the last update that it received, the status, and the priority, as well as the ticket number right there. What you might notice right here is that I don't have the ability to edit any of the information on this ticket. I can't really edit anything on a ticket unless I'm the requester, or I'm the person that created that ticket. So just keep that in mind, that unless you're the requester or you've been CC'd on the ticket, you won't be able to make changes to that ticket once it's in the system. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a step back over to My Activities again. So we're under the organization requests. You can click on the title of these to view these tickets, and you can follow this page for any updates of new tickets that have been created. You can also search and sort by status on this page. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a step back now, back over to our home page. And let's talk about how you can submit a request yourself. Now, when it comes to creating a request, not everybody has the ability to create a request. If you currently have the ability to create a request in the system, you'll be able to create a request in this new system. So again, if you currently have that ability, you'll have that ability in the new system. But if you don't currently have that ability, you won't have that ability in the new system. So again, let's take a look at how to actually create requests. We saw how to see tickets you've submitted, but let's actually create one now. So if you click on Submit Request up here at the top, or you click Submit Request down here in the middle of the page, either one will take you to the same page. So let's go ahead and click Submit a Request. And this will take you to a page where you can create your ticket. So you can go ahead and type in your information right here. So I'll type in my name right there. Whoops, spelled my own name wrong. And then my email address. And then I'll select the module that this ticket is regarding. So let's go ahead and say that it's for buy speed. And I could say that my document is stuck in processing. And then I can fill out the rest of this information. So for the environment, I'm going to say that this is in prod 1. The report name, I'm just going to call this my report for this example. The document ID, I'd go ahead and type in the document ID if I have one. And the same with the organization ID. If you don't have an organization ID, or if you don't know what that organization ID is, then chances are you don't have one. But if you know you have an organization ID, or if you have a question of which organization ID is your own, you can reach out to your help desk and they'd be able to help you. That's really for those multi-org customers that we have. Once you've filled in that basic information, you can leave a comment here regarding what this ticket actually is. So you could say my requisition is stuck in pending status. And of course that can be anything you specify, but you'll just want to type out your comment, give as much information as you can, and then in the labels section, if you have anything you want to label this ticket as, so if you wanted to say that it's a high priority or something, you can type that in there. You can also, in this area right here, specify that it's for a specific organization or department. You can tag it that way. Whatever you would need to tag it with, and then you can click Submit at the bottom. And this will give you kind of a confirmation saying your ticket has been created, and you can view your tickets right here. So if you click here to view your tickets, that'll take you in to see the ticket that you just created. Now, one thing I want to specify before we take a look at this ticket, if you don't have the ability to create tickets, you'll still see that form in there, and you'll be able to fill out the form. But after you create the ticket, it'll just be deleted, and you'll receive an email saying that your ticket was deleted. So just keep that in mind, that if you don't have the ability, even if you try to create the ticket, it's just going to delete that ticket after a little while. So just keep that in mind. If you don't have the ability to create tickets, make sure you're going through your help desk. Now that we've created this ticket, we can go ahead and click on the title of it, and we can see some of the basic information of the ticket right here, who created it. That's our ticket right there, and we can see the ticket message just below there, and then the status, priority, who created it, which is us, and then the created and last updated. If we need to add information to this ticket, we just click Add to Conversation, and we can add in comments or upload attachments. So either one that we want, we can just add. We can just type anything in, so we can say please let me know when you have an update. We could upload our attachments there, and when we're ready, we just click Submit at the bottom of the page, and that would add that comment to our ticket. Now, when you create a ticket, there's a few things that are going to happen. First off, you'll be able to receive a notification when your ticket gets received. You'll also be able to receive a notification anytime that one of our support members updates your ticket. So as your ticket is in the system, anytime that somebody comes in and updates it, you'll receive a notification letting you know that the ticket was updated. All right, let's go ahead and take a step back. We're going to go up to the home page here. And that was how to create a ticket, how to view your tickets and update those tickets in the system. Now we're going to go a little bit further down with contacting support. Whenever you need to contact support, you can still contact us in the same way, either by submitting a request or calling us. And the phone number hasn't changed at all, so it's the same phone number right there. So that hasn't changed. Again, you can just call or submit a request. And then the last thing that I wanted to go over with you in this particular session is the knowledge base articles that we have in the system for you. So we talked a little bit about those. It's one of the newer features that we're rolling out for you in this new support portal is the ability to search through knowledge base articles where you can just go ahead and type in what it is you're looking for. So let's go ahead and say requisition. And we'd be able to see any of the articles that match anything that we searched for. So if we said how to create a requisition or how to clone a requisition, this is the one that would come up. And we can click on any one of those articles and review that article. It'll give us kind of a step-by-step of how to accomplish that particular task. Now this can be extremely helpful to you, especially as help desk users, because you can actually have any of your users come into the system and review these articles. They don't have to be able to create tickets in order to just see these articles. That way you don't have to constantly be helping them yourself. You can just refer them over to this tool here and they would be able to come in and search through these articles for anything that they may need help with. Within this page you'll be able to see the title of the article, who created it, and how long ago it was updated. On the left hand side you'll be able to see other articles that are related or in the same section as this article. And you can also follow articles. So if you follow an article right here, what that means is anytime that this article gets updated, I would receive a notification about it. Now as you scroll down to the bottom of this page here, if you found the article helpful, you can say yes or no, and then if you still have questions, you'd be able to submit a request right there. And then of course you can see any articles you've recently taken a look at. And then if we go back to the other page here, let's go back to the buy speed area. That was how you could kind of search for articles, but you can also browse through the articles by either looking through the user roles of the articles, or you can look through just the general FAQ type articles. If you click on user roles, this will show you all of the articles we have organized into different user roles. So we have organization administrator, department access, basic purchasing, and this doesn't have a lot of information right now, but this is going to continue to grow pretty rapidly as we add more and more information into this tool. As well, it's going to allow you to be able to come into here and access any articles based off of your role. So you can just click on any one of those and review that step-by-step information. So the nice thing for you help desk users is you can actually come in here, copy the URL to one of these articles and send it over to one of your users if they need help with something, and they can just log into here and review that information pretty easily. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a step back now, and we're going to take a little bit of a look at some of the questions that have been submitted. It looks like we have quite a few that have been submitted, so we're just going to kind of start at the top and work our way through this. Let me go ahead and switch over to our Q&A session at this time. Okay, so it looks like we have quite a few questions on here. We're going to start at the top here. The first one, will article section include release notes? So anytime there's release notes. That one, whether it'll include the release notes or not, that's one that we'll have to determine. We probably will include the release notes here. We generally do upload the release notes to these types of portals. But if you currently receive the release notes via email, that shouldn't change. You'll still receive those via email. So the next question, how will we know if a ticket has been transferred to development? So that will be included in the ticket comments. If you're working with one of the support agents, whenever they transfer the ticket to development, they'll notify you, letting you know that that ticket has been transferred over to development. And most likely, depending on what the issue was, they'll keep that ticket open, especially if it's some kind of a problem with the system. Maybe not if it's an enhancement request, but if it's some kind of a problem with the system, they'll be keeping it open and giving you updates through the same ticket as development works on it. Okay, so we have another one on here. Will followers be automatically notified by email whenever the ticket is updated? So followers, depending on if you're following a specific ticket, which I don't know if you can follow a specific ticket, but you should be able to be notified anytime a ticket is created for your organization. And if you do follow a ticket, you should be notified anytime that ticket is updated. And yes, that would be through email. Can you confirm that someone who is CC'd can update the ticket? So if you get CC'd on the ticket, you'll be notified of any updates or any comments that get made on that ticket. And you should be able to update the ticket through the tool right here or through your email. So if you get CC'd on a ticket, you'll receive those email notifications, and you don't actually have to come into the tool to update it. You can just reply to your email, and that will drop that comment of whatever you replied in your email right into the ticket. Okay, so we had another one. Can label be a drop-down versus free form? So right now, we have it set up as a free form field right there. Whether or not it's going to, if it needs to be changed to a drop-down because it needs specific fields in there, we'll have to determine that down the road a little bit. For now, we're going to keep it as a free-form field just because we have different organizations that use the system slightly differently. So we're going to keep it as a free-form for now, but that may be updated to a drop-down in the future. So here's another question. Can you upload attachments when you first enter the issue, or do you have to submit the ticket first? So the way it is right now, you have to submit the ticket first before you can upload your attachments to it. So you'll create the ticket and then just click on that link that will take you right to the ticket where you can upload your attachments. Now, in that case, if you do create a ticket through email, so if you just email the email address for support, that would actually create a ticket as well with any attachments that you have on your ticket. So if you sent in an email that has attachments on it, that would create the ticket and add the attachments as well. So you can do it either way. I usually recommend going through the system because there is some extra information that will request from you, and you can fill it in right there. But if you needed to, if you wanted to just create it all in one move, you could do it through your email as well, just by emailing the email address for our support team. Okay, so here's a really good question. How do we prioritize the tickets? Prioritizing the tickets, you'll just want to specify in the comment of the ticket what level of severity this ticket is for you or your organization. Or you'll just want to specify what the urgency of the ticket is so that our support team can then triage the ticket and assign it a priority based off of how big of an issue it is for your organization. So when you submit the ticket, they'll triage those as they're coming in, and they'll treat them appropriately based off of the type of issue that it is. Okay, so here's another great question. On the submit request screen, what is the report name field and the document ID field? Is the document ID where you would put the requisition number or the purchase order number? Depending on the document you are having problems with? Yes, that's exactly right. So the document ID is going to be the purchase order number, the bid number, the contract number, whatever document type you're working with. That's whatever number is assigned to it. That's what you'll put into the document ID. And then the report name field, that's going to be specific to if you're having problems with a report. So if it's not a report, you can just kind of skip over that piece right there. But if it's not all of them are going to be applicable for everybody. For example, the organization ID, not everybody is set up the same way where they need an organization ID, so that one won't be applicable for everybody, and you can just skip over it if you don't have an organization ID. Okay, I'm not seeing any more questions come in, so we're going to go ahead and close up for today. If you do have additional questions, please feel free to reach out to us. And one last note before we jump off the webinar. For you to gain access to this new tool, I'll need you to reply to the follow-up email that you'll be receiving today, letting me know that you need access to this tool, and then we'll go ahead and set you up. What we're trying to do is allow everybody to see this recording, or at least a version of this webinar that we've gone through today, so that they can feel a little bit more comfortable and they know kind of the ins and outs before we give them access to the tool. Now that you've seen it, just respond to the email letting me know that you have seen it and that you need access to the tool, and we'll go ahead and set you up in the new tool. So again, respond to that email and we'll make sure we get you a user created either today, or hopefully today we'll be able to get you created in there. Again, thank you for attending, and I look forward to speaking with you in the future.